Hello and welcome to the 198th episode of Video Games to the Max. I'm your host, Sean Garmer, and here with me as always, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
Well, we're trying this video thing again. Hopefully it works out a lot better than last time. At least we have backup this time so that the audio version isn't screwed up too if this one doesn't work. But yeah, so it's also been a month since we did our Game of the Year kind of special. The actual big version is on the website with like a year in review before it. Mark and I and Daniel wrote all the blurbs. Some of the lists changed from the podcast, so if you want to go check it out, it'll be in the description of the show, wherever it is that you listen and watch it. Again, we are the official video games podcast at 32net.com, and of course in association with Last Word on lifeinformmania.com as well. And my gosh, it's been a month, so it's 2019 now, and there's crazy news everywhere happening constantly.
Yep.
Mark, I mean, anything in your time off that you feel like you need to say anything?
I played and beat Shadow the Tomb Raider, and that was a bad game.
Yeah, one of the things that got knocked off the list.
Well, yeah. The game itself is fine, but the story was terrible.
That's not a great end to a trilogy I think people were excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly I think, well, we'll get into what we played, which both of us, we've been playing two of the same game. So that's going to be interesting to talk about when we get to that, as well as some other things. But there's so much. 3?
A certain demo.
Oh, yes, that's right. A demo of a game that is coming out on Friday that I'm sure everybody is freaking excited about. I didn't know I was excited about it until I played the demo, so we'll get into that in a little bit. But like I said, we're just going to start somewhere and go from there. Might as well begin with EA deciding that this Star Wars game that they have now canceled, I don't know how many Star Wars games they've canceled. There's at least been, 3? Since EA's had the deal? Since 2013?
Yeah, they canceled that Amy Hennig one, and I think they canceled one other one. That was, not officially announced or anything, but...
They canceled Star Wars 1313.
No, Lucas canceled that.
Yeah, the Disney deal canceled that.
Yeah.
And then EA got them. Battlefront 2 came out. They canceled the EA Motive one that Jade Raymond was working on.
Yeah, that was Amy Hennig one.
And then they kept assets from part of the Amy Hennig one and put it into Vancouver. Or put it into Visceral. And then Visceral got closed, and it got put into Vancouver.
No, Amy Hennig was at Visceral, along with Jade Raymond. That's when they got closed down and put into EA with Vancouver or wherever the fuck it was.
And then this actually never officially got a name. It was called Project Orca.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be an open world Star Wars game. It was not coming along fast enough for them. They wanted it by 2020. And this wasn't going to come out for 2021, 2022 at the rate they were going. So now the Respawn game is coming, and they're hoping that one's ready by the time that they want it. So,
I mean, fourth time is a charm, hopefully.
I guess. I mean, we don't really know much about the Respawn one. It's the Jedi Fallen Order game.
Yo, will Kyle Katarn be the main character?
We'll see. But, I mean, you would think with all this, if not before then, E3, they've got to have something on Fallen Order or people are really going to start questioning where that's going. Um, I think Andrew Wilson's like on the record saying he didn't really want to be saddled with the Star Wars license. He kind of came into it. Their new CEO,
Yeah.
because
Well, I think it was Kotaku said like Frank Jabot and like some other EA big guy like negotiated the deal, and then when they left, he was kind of left with it.
yeah, he kind of had to just start dealing with it, and they have this until unless like another deal that we're going to talk about gets cut short, they have to deal with this till 2023. So,
I mean,
yeah,
you know what's really funny though is Andrew Wilson. I think he said like, oh, he wants to focus on EA original properties,
right.
and it's like, dude, your money comes from FIFA and Madden. Like, imagine if the NFL said like, fuck you, you can't make another Madden or you can't make another football game from us. Like, how screwed would EA be?
I don't know that they would do that, but yeah, I mean, they would be kind of, they'd be,
Or yeah, or imagine like, I don't think is there like a football or a soccer governing body?
yes, FIFA is technically a governing body, but they're
I mean,
pretty corrupt.
say the same thing about like FIFA. Like, imagine if like Ubisoft just gave $1 billion to buy the FIFA license for 10 years. Like, EA would be screwed.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if they took all the licenses, but they would be taking all the licenses with them, and
Because EA doesn't have any licensed properties anymore, except for Battlefront or Battlefield, whatever the fuck it's called, and that bombed horribly last year.
Basically, but I mean, they're able to live off what they know how to do, so they're smart in that aspect. And hey, when you can make Ultimate Team games out of everything and make it work, then it is what it is there. But I kind of understand Andrew Wilson in a way, like focus on stuff you can make yourself, and you don't have to deal with all the hierarchy and the Disney and Lucasfilm and everything else that you have to deal with to make one of those games. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of my things is trying to read more books this year, and I read Jason Schreier's Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, and the last chapter.
I'm listening to the audiobook of that now.
Oh, you are? The last chapter deals with Star Wars 1313.
Yeah.
And they talk about how every little thing that they had to do with that game, George Lucas had to approve. And they would keep giving them stuff to put in the game. And it would make it harder and harder and harder for them to do. And they went through it anyway.
One of the Jason Schreier things he said, or one of the things he talked about, was like, BioWare has wanted to make a KOTOR 3, but EA won't let them do it. And it's like, that's crazy. Like, why wouldn't you?
That's weird too, especially after Disney said that stuff's not canon, so they could kind of just do whatever they want with that.
Yeah.
So there's less stuff that they have to deal with going that way.
Yeah.
I don't understand that one either.
Because it'd be a lot easier to, if you just said, oh, it's, thousands of years in the past, you can just do whatever you want. Like, who cares?
Yeah, you would think that they would want that kind of freedom, but I guess maybe there's more to that than just EA as well. Also, EA seems to want them to work on, at the time they wanted to do more Mass Effect and Dragon Age, and we'll see where Anthem goes. We're only less than a month away from Anthem, so.
I don't have great feelings about Anthem. I don't know about you.
I'm sort of intrigued, but it just really looks a lot like Destiny. And
everyone loved that.
Well, there's people have loved that at times. It just, as we'll talk about, there's meddling going on there. But you hope that the Respawn one will work, and you'll finally get a Star Wars game that's not Battlefront related, and maybe doesn't have microtransactions messing up.
I mean, I can anticipate it'll be a first-person shooter.
We'll see.
Which is like the most boring thing you can do with that franchise.
I wish it wouldn't though. That's why the open world thing was, and I want that Star Wars 1313 was another sort of like letting
What's
you kind of do something different.
What's weird? I think the Kotaku thing said like the past three canceled Star Wars games were all like headed by a rogue or some bounty hunter, and
Yeah.
it's like what? There are more jobs in that universe than bounty hunter.
Oh, well, George
I want to.
Lucas.
I want to be a Star Wars. There to be a Star Wars game where like a droid repair guy.
You would think though at that point, like, right, let's have multiple Star Wars projects and let people have different fantasies in that Star Wars universe. Doesn't
Yeah.
Instead of doing the same one, but I guess they want to go with what's proven, and that's how EA works. Very much like, I guess you could say, someone very much like EA and Activision that also goes with a let's do what's proven, let's do what we know, and they tried to do that much of the same with Destiny. Destiny had Bungie had a 10-year deal with Activision until this week when they were separated, much like Bungie was separated from Microsoft back in the day with Halo. I think this is the first time in history that a studio has been separated from a major publisher twice.
Yeah.
And both times they were sipping champagne and happy about it. So let's see if the third time is not the charm, or is the charm for Bungie.
It can get bought up by Activision or by EA.
Yeah, interesting
well.
that Phil Spencer was like the first one to comment on Bungie like officially announcing the thing and saying that he was happy to work again with Bungie on one of their favorite franchises.
Well, I'm sure because like 343 Studios hasn't done great by Halo.
Yeah,
Like Halo 5 seemed okay, but it seemed to kind of just come and go.
Halo 4 was really good, and then
Halo 4 wasn't them.
I thought they did ODST and Reach, and then 4 was them.
I can check. You might be right. Let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Halo 4 was okay.
Halo 5 just had a lot of. They tried to smash too much new stuff in there, and
I think I saw some news story a few days ago that they released a patch for Master Chief Collection. Like they're still trying to fix that fucking thing.
Yeah, that multiplayer I don't think is ever going to be right. But I mean, at least that's the thing. That's what I'm wondering. In this whole thing is, will they kind of do what it seems like Microsoft is doing with Halo in that, okay, where it's not Halo 6, even though they said technically Halo Infinite is Halo 6. Basically, this feels like Halo Infinite is going to just be Halo and we're going to iterate on it, we're going to add things to it or whatever. Will they just drop the number on Destiny and say, okay, this is just Destiny, and we're just going to keep updating it. There'll be expansions and stuff. We're not going to keep doing this whole thing that Activision wanted us to do where we kept making sequels and everything else. Do you think that works better for them that way?
No, because the track record of games with Infinite in the title is not great. Like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Disney Infinity.
Yeah. Did you see some of the they showed video of like Infinity 4.0?
Yeah, I sent that to you.
That looked cool. Like Aladdin petting Yoda on the head.
That looked like Kingdom Hearts.
Hey, if that's what they got it up to eventually, that's awesome. Just sad we didn't get to play it.
I mean, that was literally like, mixing Yoda and Aladdin. And I think they had like some other characters, like
Rocket
Star Wars
was there in the background.
And like the Incredible Hulk was like grinding on like a rail and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have wanted more than Aladdin's land or Agrabah, but
I think that was probably the toy box because I still can't imagine Disney changing that attitude that they had of in the story mode. We're gonna let you just do whatever the hell you want with the figures.
Yeah.
So, which I think that hurt them as well. Like I think people wanted more freedom in those outside the toy box, but
Yeah, that was always kind of the weird paradox of that game. Like you have all these figures, but you can't use them in the story mode unless they're like of the specific story arc or whatever franchise it was part of.
I think that's Nomura's talked about that too. That's kind of part of the like having to deal with Disney, especially now that they're dealing with like more current franchise stuff. Of all these creators are still around, and they have certain rules that they have for those lands, and
I mean, I know you're way excited for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want modern Disney or like classical?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool for them to go like back and go to some of the worlds they'd never gone to before. But
because I was telling a friend of mine about Kingdom Hearts because she didn't know anything about it, and I showed her like the recent trailer, and she kind of got the idea. But I was like, oh, in this Kingdom Hearts 3, you go to like Toy Story and Enchanted and Monsters Universe. But like the last one, you went to Tron, Steamboat Willie, and like Agrabah. And she was like, "Oh, that sounds way better." Like, yeah,
yeah. I mean, I think also part of it is just we were going from 2006 to 2018, 19. You got to update some of those movies a little bit. I think because I think they're looking at it as, yes, Kingdom Hearts 3 is like the end of this saga, but it's also the entry point for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, because I mean there are people playing it who probably weren't born in 2006.
Yep. So that's another thing too. So you have a lot of people that are playing on PS4s that this might be their first Kingdom Hearts game. They don't have time to go back and play the other ones, especially if you're on Xbox. You're still not getting the collection. So, which
Suckers.
I don't know what Square is doing there. That's just print money. You're printing. I know it. Listen, I know it takes a lot to develop that and whatever, but
Sony might have like some rights thing to hold on to Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
No, Square Enix has said it's just Microsoft has to say yes.
Oh.
Microsoft hasn't said. I think Microsoft's waiting to see if Kingdom Hearts 3 makes money, and then maybe they'll let them go back and do it some other time, or maybe they're waiting to whatever the Xbox next thing is going to be called, and
they probably have to pay Square to port it over, and they don't want to do that.
Oh, I'm sure they have to do that too. It's still shocking that they're just now getting all the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
So, like Nintendo, I can sort of understand because they had, 1 through 6, and they're also a Japanese company and all that. But like Microsoft just now getting them after all those years of them being out is still kind of crazy a little bit. You know what? This week, also a big event for Mortal Kombat 11, as they showed off gameplay. Sonic Fox was battling various people, and Ronda Rousey is going to voice Sonya, which seems like a mixed reaction there. And yeah, I mean, what do you think? You're much more playing Mortal Kombat than I am. What do you think of Mortal Kombat?
I mean, 11? I watched that trailer. It was gross.
Yeah. Pretty bloody. I watched all the fatalities and everything. Some of them are nuts.
And the two things I'll say is like the starting roster seems very like bland.
Yeah.
Like I think there's 2 new characters. This Chronica chick.
Chronica is the big bad for this one.
Main bad woman. Yeah, she controls time. And Garrus,
which is like her person that she sends to like do the dirty work or whatever.
Yeah, and everyone else is just regular characters. The funniest part actually was GameSpot tweeted a really stupid comment like, "Oh look, guys, fatalities are back in Mortal Kombat," and it's like, no shit. Like,
I think that's their way of saying like, "Oh, Mortal Kombat's back" or whatever.
yeah, I have a friend who's like an ex-editor, and he's like, "Oh, that's kind of the reason." But I'm like, it's so hackneyed. It's like when they do those Smash Brothers videos. It's like, oh, look, we're introducing Mario. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
get it.
like, oh, Mario is joining the fight, guys. Like, really?
Yeah, or it's like when they had when they were introducing like Dragon Ball Fighter Z characters. I was like, oh look, we got Vegeta. It's like,
Really?
yeah.
Did you expect that they're gonna make the game without Vegeta? Speaking of, both of us have watched the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. We're gonna talk about that at the end. So, if you watch the movie and want to, hear our opinions on it, you can do that a little bit later. Yeah, I think the story seems sort of interesting with the Chronica being able to being the keeper of time and all that stuff, and
Well, they gotta figure out a way to retcon Mortal Kombat 9 out because they killed like most of the characters.
yeah, it seems like they're. Well, I mean, didn't they bring Liu Kang back to be like a leader of NetherRealm or whatever?
Yeah, like in Mortal Kombat 10, they had like a whole kind of like dead army, but they didn't really do much with them necessarily. And it's weird that like there are no, well, except for Cassie Cage, there's none of the Mortal Kombat 10 characters in this game so far.
Yeah, I think there was like what 15 slots. I think I saw that were empty.
Yo, I just hope that Ninja Turtles are back in the game. That's all I care about.
Were they in Injustice or Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, they were in Injustice, but bring them over. Why not? I want to have Raiden face off against Donatello.
I would think that they were probably going to try to keep them separate, but who knows? Like, have they've been trying to keep like actually have different ones for every
yeah.
So
I wonder if like Triborg will be back in this or something.
Yeah. Have they had Freddy and they had Michael. Have they had Jason? They had Jason, right? In one of them? Or no?
I don't know. Yeah. Bring back Kratos. That's what I want to see.
Let's do it. Yeah, bring back.
Or bring back have Atreus be the new character.
Just shoot his bow from long distance, and you can just spam that the whole time. But yeah,
I mean, I'll probably get it because I'll probably be doing to review it. So
probably. Yeah, I mean, like it looks fine. Like I said, some of the fatalities look ridiculous, and I'm sure the other characters that will get announced will go through.
They need to bring back the kart racer also.
Everybody else is bringing back a kart racer, so why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Everybody have your like it's basically everybody have your card game and everybody have your kart racer.
I'd play the hell out of a Mortal Kombat card game.
Well,
since no one's playing Valve's card game anymore, Artifact.
Yeah, they're not. They're like that. What, down to like less than 1,000 players, or
I think it was like 1,600, and it bounced back to like 2,200. But like Fallout New Vegas was beating it, and that's like an 8-year-old game, and Portal 2 was beating it, and that's I think it's 8-year-old game also now.
I watched gameplay of that. That looks really complicated. There's like 3 different boards and.
Yeah,
because
they tried to make it like a MOBA essentially, but in card game form.
Oh, it is based off Dota 2.
Yeah.
So that makes sense somewhat. Speaking of card game, this has been out for like almost 10 years at this point, but Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission is finally coming to the West on Switch and Steam on April 5th. This is the Dragon Ball card game, by the way. So, yeah, you'll get to play that soon. Don't expect it to have dubs though, because there's way too many characters. And
I mean, they just get Chris Sabat to do it all.
Yeah, I watched that like behind the scenes video. He's like, "This is the most challenging role I have out of all my roles that I do. I have like 4 hours before I want to like go somewhere,
Yeah.
suffocate of all the screaming. Probably won't have to do that much in this game, but we'll see. There's gonna be a Dragon Ball Z action RPG, though.
That might be interesting. Depends what they do. Like, it'd be cool if it was like a Diablo style game.
Like, you really think they can pull that off?
No, but it'd be cool if it was.
I just hope that they'll make like an original story or whatever, and not let's redo some Dragon Ball Z story or something. Don't need that. Also, Jiren probably going to be on Fighter Z.
Yeah, they're like announcing season 2 soon, so he'll probably be in there.
Yeah, if they're saying Warrior from Universe 11, they got to be bringing him. I mean, the other guys are cool and all, but I think everybody wants to see Jiren in the game at that point.
Still waiting for Mr. Satan.
Yes, we need Mr. Satan. Come on. I know the Japanese voice actor passed and all that, but still. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, going back to, I don't think we talked about it that. I know I mentioned it and we didn't talk that much about it, but like, do you think that, like, do you put a lot of blame on Activision or on the whole
For Destiny?
not working, or you think it's a both of, because like going back and reading the thing about Halo, with Bungie, it didn't always seem like it was Microsoft. Some of that was Bungie kind of.
Well, I think the thing with Microsoft and Bungie was Microsoft only wanted them to make Halo games.
Right.
Like, they didn't do anything else. And after, 5 games, you probably get burnt out. As far as Bungie and Activision, like, Activision had like probably unrealistic sales goals for the franchise, and we're like telling Bungie, you have to put in all this stupid monetization crap for this game to, if you hit your sales targets. And they did that, and that drove off the player base.
Yeah, the Eververse thing was really divisive when they first installed that thing, and I remember seeing even the hardest of the hardcore people that like do podcasts about it and everything are kind of like, man, I hope you take this out for Destiny 3 or whatever Destiny thing you put out next, because
I'm assuming Destiny is released as an independent game, or they may partner with like Ubisoft or someone to get it out there. But I don't think it's gonna have a lot of monetization stuff at all. It'll probably have like custom skins or like gun skins or something, but it won't be like required like it seems now.
Yeah, I think definitely they'll understand that the fan base doesn't want that. I think the most part is to just keep adding content like they've been doing, which that's a good thing. They introduced that annual pass thing, and
yeah, most of their DLC seems okay. I'm gonna play it, but I mean, it seems to get the audience back a little, but they run into those hurdles of like the DLC store or the the Eververse, and it's like, forget this.
Yeah, I think also it's just Activision wanted like we gotta put it towards the casuals. We gotta make sure that we're getting all these kinds of people playing the game and everything else. And Bungie wanted to focus more on the hardcores that are always playing.
Well, this will go into a different tangent, but Activision is like severely fucking up Blizzard right now with WoW, Diablo, obviously, and I think Hearthstone to an extent.
Yeah, they've been releasing a lot of expansions,
and like they haven't actually said WoW subscription numbers in years because I think they're ashamed of it. Because at one point, WoW had like 14 million players, and now they're down to like 3 million, maybe 4. That's not great. And they keep trying to bleed money from WoW players, and it just pisses people off.
I mean, I think for how long that series has been going on, especially now they've been releasing more expansions than they used to. I think it gets to a certain point where I think people eventually, those people that were playing back when it first started grew up. They got tired of it, and then the younger generation, I think, they didn't latch onto that. They latched onto other games, and I think after a while, it doesn't matter how many iterations you make on that, it's gonna end. I think so. I think they've done the best they can to sort of keep it going, but at some point those numbers are going to dwindle. It's hard to keep that. Even Fortnite, with all it's doing right now,
that's going to fall eventually.
Yeah, it's not going to keep those numbers up. So.
And Carlton is the one who's going to bring it down.
Yeah, if not Carlton, the Orange Kid or the Floss Dance or the Backpack Kid or whoever the hell is, suing them now. So. Did you see Forza Horizon? Microsoft just took them out of Forza Horizon 4. It was like, we're not dealing with this. We're just going to take them out right now.
Yeah.
So, and those dances were actually named after the
there was what they called the Carlton dance.
So, they might have gotten in more trouble. And what's funny is like they didn't get named in the suit. So Microsoft's like, oh, we dodged a bullet. Let's just completely get them out of here.
Yeah, that's because no one cares about Forza Horizon, dancing emotes.
Yeah, but even then, with that, Fortnite made the most revenue of any game ever last year. $2.4 billion of revenue, and it's free to play. So
don't worry. When Flappy Bird 2 gets released this year, it's going to blow that away.
Yep. I'm sure everybody will just stop what they're doing. Who knows, though? It could catch fire again, but I think it's a testament to what Epic's been doing with Fortnite to get that just crazy like that. I can't remember which one is the next in line after that, and it dwarfs them by almost 10 billion.
No.
Pokemon Go's on that list. It was like a big list of. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's Dungeon Fighter Online has 1.5 billion.
Oh, the most original game name in existence.
Then League of Legends right under that with Pokemon Go, Crossfire, and Honor of Kings. Fate Grand Order, Candy Crush, still going strong. Monster Strike and Clash Royale, all in that vicinity of like 1.4 to 1 million, and Fortnite made 2.4. It's crazy. Oh, and their competitor PUBG is the top premium PC and console game by revenue.
That's kind of surprising because I thought PUBG kind of fell off last year.
It's 1.2 billion for PUBG, and the closest thing after that is FIFA 18 with 790 million. So
that just proves no one cares about soccer.
Yeah, both FIFAs are on this list. Actually, Grand Theft Auto 5 is third. Somehow,
yeah,
it's ridiculous that Grand Theft Auto is still doing those numbers. But yeah, I mean, it goes to show these battle royale games right now all the rage, and they continue to do so. Right, I think Red Dead just added theirs.
Yeah, and I heard it wasn't great.
So I hear almost doing anything with people in Red Dead is not great. So
yeah, I fired up that online mode once, and I was like, I'm good.
I just keep hearing everybody getting griefed constantly. So
that's what online modes are for.
Yeah, that's what you need to be doing. Well, if you have problems with your your NES. You're having, look, they're not adding the NES games I want or whatever. Maybe Super Nintendo games are more your style. A data mine of the Nintendo Switch Online has revealed Super Nintendo games might show up on the online service. If you remember right, way back when Switch was first being thought of, the whole thing about the online was it was supposed to be NES and Super NES games. So
yeah,
this might, and I've long said that I could see it being an E3 announcement of Super Nintendo games coming. They still haven't had their first Direct of the year, so it could even happen then. But gonna go through this list here of basically all the Marios. Mario All-Stars, which would have all the NES Marios, plus Lost Levels, Mario World, Mario Kart, which is still one of the great Mario Kart games, both the Star Fox games. Surprising that they put Star Fox 2 out there that quick. F-Zero, Super Punch-Out, Legend of the Mystical Ninja, Breath of Fire 2, Super Metroid, all three of the Kirbys, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Contra 3, and Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, which is an awesome game. So, not bad lineup for a start out.
There were like one or two games that were like Japanese only, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And where's Mario is missing?
I think Nintendo wants to make sure that's missing from your mind that game existed.
Yeah.
I remember playing that. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was bad.
I'm sure SNES is coming eventually.
Well, Reggie did say that he thinks the Switch Online will replace Virtual Consoles. So in order for that to happen, you kind of need to have more than NES games on there.
Yeah. They said there's like two other emulators that they don't know what systems they are for. Like a speculation that it's going to be N64 and GameCube.
I think people are wishing a little bit too much on that.
Yeah, GameCube. That would seem challenging for the hardware.
I would go nuts for Skies of Arcadia on Switch though.
And N64 is challenging because of the fucked up N64 controller.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it though, they have everything on the Joy-Cons to be able to do the 64 controller.
Yeah.
So.
But it's not in the right orientation or the placement.
Right.
So.
I mean, but if they're going around adding online play to some of these games, I mean, I don't know that switching the controls would be that much of a task.
We can finally get the online version of GoldenEye that everyone's been wanting for years.
I highly doubt that. But we can keep dreaming. I think we might get Perfect Dark before we get GoldenEye at that point.
Hello?
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 Uh-oh. Technical difficulties?
Yeah, it blipped out. So, I paused it. So give me one sec. I'll just put it at the top of the document, like the time code.
Okay.
So you can edit it like later out, or you can. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting for Chrono Trigger to show up. So.
Let's get a SNES Classic, man. Everything's on there. I saw that this is tangential, but I saw someone hacked a PS1 Classic to play PSP games.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I can't run PS1 games, so might as well try that.
I think actually, if you're thinking about it, I think there's more of a chance that there's like either Game Boy games as one of those emulators, or like maybe even a system that's not Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Genesis.
Yeah.
They've had Genesis games on there before.
I mean, they have the collection on there. They have those Ages games on there.
Game Boy Advance would be kind of cool if they could kind of HD it up a little, like not do like a complete overhaul, but not look as quite as assy at that resolution.
Yeah, I mean, there's GBA games that I want to go back and play. Advance Wars would be one of those. So.
Well, they're not going to do any more with that franchise, so that's the only way you can play it.
Well, there's a indie game called Wargroove that looks almost exactly like Advance Wars coming out really soon. So,
if you are... it's the Stardew Valley
Chucklefish
tactical.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you were hankering for some Advance Wars, go check that out. You'll...
Just go play Nectaris. That's my Advance Wars. It's like an old Japanese. It's the same thing.
Oh, really?
It predates Advance Wars quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, I played it on like the Turbo Graphics.
Jeez, that's before my time. Never played that system.
Yeah.
So more big companies are getting into streaming of games, because I guess that's the thing that we're going to be. It's the thing we're doing now. Microsoft has their Project X Cloud. Google has their streaming thing. Verizon now has a streaming thing that's already running on an NVIDIA Shield. They're testing it. It's going to be going into Android phones. There is a system that already has like Red Dead and God of War and other games on it. And they eventually want to, you can hook up an Xbox One controller, or I guess your PS4 controller, and play it through the Shield. They're eventually going to want to see if it'll play on other things, but Amazon's also doing one that they say is not going to be ready till 2020, but they want it to run on everything as well.
Well, that was like the Assassin's Creed Odyssey thing.
That was Google.
Testing. Yeah. Oh, Google, sorry.
Google is
doing the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're all going to be doing the same thing anyway. Have a data center that runs the hard part of it, and then you get to stream it to whatever thing that's out there. Like, I was watching the Microsoft trailer for theirs. It looks really cool. Like, I can't say that I don't want to be able to, go from playing on my console to playing on my phone or whatever, if, somebody needs to use the TV.
I mean, for me, it's just like the level of, unless you're going to like Bluetooth your Xbox One controller to your phone, there's no ideal way to play a game, like realistically like that. Like, they really had to modify Fortnite to do that.
Right.
Like, I remember they released Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the iPhone, and I was playing it on my iPod 4th generation video, and it's like you had a joypad, a digital joypad, and 6 buttons on the fucking screen, and I was like, this does not work at all.
Yeah. I mean, they're obviously, they have made it to where the Bluetooth works.
Oh yeah, so. I mean, it works great, but it's still a cumbersome thing to have to like. Oh, I'm gonna go to this doctor's appointment. Let's play some Black Ops 4 on my phone, and let me bust out my PS4 controller while I'm there also.
Yeah, and have to carry that in your pocket, or have to have a bag.
Yeah.
That's sort of a pain as well, but I don't know. It's up to that person, right?
Yeah. I mean, I actually have a Bluetooth SNES controller. It's in my bag. That works pretty well.
Yeah, it's something I would kind of like to try out, just to just to see.
Well, it's one of those 8-bit ones. So sometime I should actually hook it up to my SNES or my Switch.
Hey, it may work better than your Joy-Cons, you know?
Couldn't work worse.
Speaking of things here with Xbox One and PS4, Rocket League becomes the second game to be crossplay between all the systems here, as they're really one of the ones that have been wanting to do it for a while. So it's only fair that Rocket League finally gets their time to shine with this. It's enabled by default, so if you don't want to for some reason, you can turn it off. But yeah, cool for Rocket League and all the people that still play that game to play against your PS4 friends finally.
I don't play it anymore, but if you want to go for it, sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. I want to see more. I feel like Minecraft should be crossplay at this point.
Yeah.
Especially with that new mode that they're bringing in. Like, come on, Sony, just do it already.
You know, games should be crossplay. Splatoon. Let's get that on PS4.
Well, maybe if Nintendo holds true to that, they may not always be working on consoles thing. It could happen one day. You think that'll happen? Like that they'll just become a software?
I think it would require Nintendo to have at least 2 really bad consoles.
I mean, the new president did say that they're stepping up the phone game production to 2 to 3 a year instead of 1 to 2. So,
but it's still not the same. I mean, I don't think they would ever have a Mario Odyssey type of game on a phone.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, unless they're streaming it.
Yeah.
But, I think also that they literally could just, even though if this streaming technology sort of keeps advancing, it could sort of knock out that's why the Switch is such a marvel right now, because it allows you to do what this streaming tech does. You having another...
Hello?
Oh, boy.
Is it me or you?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, so I think it might be you? Because you faded out. Or you got, really garbled.
That's weird. That happens sometimes, though.
Okay, well, I'll just keep... I'll keep pausing and entering in time codes for when you if you want to edit it at some point.
Okay. I'll do that, probably.
All right. Want me to count down, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think that's what makes the Switch such a special thing right now, is that it's what those...
Doing well?
Yeah, well, it's not just that. It's like it lets you go from the console to wherever you want to take it, which is what that streaming is wanting to do. But they could literally just iterate on the Switch a bunch of times and just keep bringing that out, and then you kill the 3DS. And if you want to come up with another kind of system, then...
I actually did do that. I think 2 weeks ago I had a doctor's appointment and I took my Switch with me. And I was playing Smash Brothers just sitting in a waiting room.
I've done that too.
And then it was funny because I had Mario Party with me and I put it in and they're like, "Oh, it's going to take an hour to play a 10-turn game." And I was like, "I'm done."
Wow. It always takes that long to play Mario Party, though.
Yeah.
It is definitely a game you need to have time for. Certainly. Also, Ubisoft made a big splash by removing the Division 2, deciding to just take the Division 2 to the Epic Games Store and not be on Steam at all. So you can only play Division 2 on the Epic Games Store or on Uplay.
I think they said Division 2 will eventually be on Steam, but I think Epic gets the initial, launch window exclusivity or something. See, I might actually buy it on Epic Store if it didn't include that stupid Uplay launcher crap.
Oh, so you still have to use the Uplay launcher even though it's on another store?
Oh yeah, Steam. Like you basically, I mean, it adds it to your account, but like the second you launch a Ubisoft game, it launches up the stupid, Uplay launcher.
That really seems annoying.
Yeah, and for me, it's really interesting because I have on my Steam account, I have a copy of Assassin's Creed Rogue in Russian.
Oh wow!
So it's tied to my Uplay account, and I have another copy of Rogue in English. But I can't add that to Steam or I can't buy like an English version because I already have a copy associated with my Steam account.
You can't just delete the Russian one and.
I think I could, but that's awesome. Like, wouldn't?
I guess, yeah. You could.
Like, I know how to play that game. Like, the language doesn't really matter to me.
I don't need to hear all that jargon they're speaking. It's fine.
Yeah.
Without you could just learn Russian instead. That
Or I think you could send the subtitles to English, maybe.
That's possible. Well, I'm sure.
I mean,
go ahead.
I kind of am interested in the Division 2, but I don't think I'll get it.
They've made a bunch of changes, and Washington D.C. as a setting seems interesting. How many references to Trump are we gonna make in
I would say
video game?
All of them.
It's like,
well, that's like the Far Cry 5's big problem is they're like trying to reference Trump, but they didn't do anything with it. So it's like, all right, you wasted this idea.
Yeah, we want to touch the line but not cross it. It's like you might as well. You made a big deal about it. But hey, if you want drama, forget whatever's going on with the president. Let's look at Gearbox for a little bit because, my God, this is one of the weirdest stories you'll probably get all year. Involving...
No, this is just the start. It's going to get way weirder, trust me.
Yeah, I'm sure. So this all started way before this year with Gearbox suing their general counsel, Wade Callender, for supposedly he basically misused credit cards, company credit cards, to do personal things like go on vacations and do they
go to the gun range.
Yeah, go to a gun range, and he wanted 6-pack abs because who doesn't want 6-pack abs? That's why I'm going to the gym. Not really, but that'll take forever, and I don't know that I'm going to get there, but still,
you'll lose interest way before that happens.
Yeah, but still, the point is, he was funding himself through Gearbox, which is illegal, rightfully getting sued. Well, so Wade Callender ain't having none of that, and he's countersuing Randy Pitchford, saying that he took out a $12 million bonus from Take-Two as an advance against Borderlands profits, which means nobody else from Take-Two, nobody else from Gearbox gets their money from Borderlands until that loan is paid, which that's pretty dirty. The only thing is, it gets even worse. So then he keeps on saying that Randy Pitchford, he's starts alleging these bad things that Randy Pitchford apparently does. One of them is that he went to a medieval times and had a USB stick that had Take-Two stuff on it, Sega stuff on it from when they made Aliens Colonial Marines, and stuff from Gearbox on it. And also on there was some barely legal porn, even though he calls it underage porn, in quotations. Randy Pitchford went on a Magic podcast as in he's very into.
This is where it gets good.
Yeah, he's very into magic stuff, not Magic the Gathering. And he goes on, and so you're sitting here. I've listened to part of this, and you're sitting there going, okay, why is he on here? He's not talking about anything that has to do with magic. And so the thing about the USB drive comes up, which basically Randy Pitchford went onto this podcast so that he has it on record as to why the porn was on the USB drive. By the way, Gearbox got back their USB drive that got lost at medieval times. The dude got a bunch of swag and whatever, and that's fine. But, so, Randy Pitchford goes on to this podcast and he's saying that this girl that's apparently 18, because her tag is only 8 or barely 18 or whatever, and he likes camgirl porn. So, he's sitting there... He's sitting there go, look, this girl just squirted, and I have no idea how this happened, so I had to put it on my USB drive because she's not a sex worker, she's a magician, or whatever. And it's like, okay, whatever, Randy Pitchford, you like what you like, whatever. But,
well, the obvious thing is that he never caused his wife to do that.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe she just
can't,
or I don't.
She doesn't have that magical trick up her sleeve.
Maybe, whatever Randy Pitchford's sexual habits are not of our concern, but the thing is, he's sitting here making allegations about it being underage porn. Randy Pitchford is clearly saying that even though it was barely legal, it is still of legal age. YIIK Calendar goes on to allege that they have peacock parties in which adult men are exposing themselves to underage girls, which is not true, according to various people that have been to those parties. So once again, YIIK Calendar is apparently just alleging things to try to make Randy Pitchford look bad and Gearbox look bad. And yeah, this is kind of what happens sometimes in lawsuits. You just dig dirt on each other, and then you got to try to prove it in court. And the thing
go on.
No, the thing is, it's like, this is really bad. I mean, Randy Pitchford's not an angel here. He's lied about stupid things to like gaming press and whatnot.
Yeah, I was telling you about this. Like, there are more hated game CEOs out there, like Bobby Kotick or Andrew Wilson.
Yeah.
But like, Pitchford always seemed like one of the scummiest out there.
Well, and then like, wasn't there somebody that like worked at Gearbox or whatever that basically said, yeah, everything's true except for the underage porn.
Yeah, like, stuff. But then he kind of quickly also backed off. So,
well, he said like jerk, yes, like bad
scam artist, yes, unknown about sexual deviant or something.
Yeah, it's just none of this looks really good at all for anyone here. YIIK Calendar obviously looks the worst, but good lord. First of all, like, why are you going on Magic podcasts to talk about porn? That doesn't sound...
Well, the craziest part is, like, Gearbox, the company PR guy or whoever pointed to that podcast. It's like, no, it's cool. And it's like...
Yeah, this is what they're sending around to go, okay, look, this is why this is not bad. Like, listen to this and you'll know. Like, I don't know that he's...
Like, that's not a defense, you guys. That's...
I mean, he's clearing himself of the, like, criminal stuff, but he's not looking better as a person with it. I mean, whatever. I mean, look, like what you like, people got their fetishes or whatever, but it's just like, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I think his wife works at Gearbox also.
Yeah.
So that's got to be odd.
Well, I mean, if they do have these, they don't the exposing of the children apparently that does not happen, but they do have parties,
Yeah.
and like if obviously his wife is okay with him watching this stuff, then
But yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame that Gearbox is like privately owned, because if it was a public company, his ass would be out of there so fast.
Oh yeah, and I think
And
he'll.
well, honestly, like, I don't think Gearbox is going to last for the year. Like, where the fuck has Borderlands 3 been?
I don't know. Isn't it supposed to be in development, and then we've seen nothing?
Well, it's supposed to be in development for the past, 3 or 4 years now.
Hey, game development's weird. So.
Because the last one was the pre-sequel, and that wasn't even headed by Gearbox, and that was 5 years ago.
Yep. And Telltale had the Tales from the Borderlands.
And that wasn't them for sure.
Yeah.
So, and they've been just putting out crap for the past 5 or 6 years. Yeah. Or what is it? Aliens Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
They did the Homeworld game, which was cool, but they published Bulletstorm,
Oof.
like the re-release, and then they published We Happy Few.
Oh boy, their record right now. Not good. Not good at all. They need to get that Borderlands. I mean, technically, Borderlands 2 VR came out as well, which that's not.
We have different views on.
That it's fine. It's not anything that I want to, be playing a bunch of. But
yeah.
I played it for a little bit. It's fine.
I played it for a little bit and I got a massive headache and I felt sick for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Has any other game made you sick?
No.
That's not good. I didn't get sick, but it's just I can definitely tell how you got sick. Like I moved my head around a bit and I was like, oh god, okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit disorienting. It's yeah, no, it's like this doesn't look good for Gearbox. Like I think at the end of the day, Randy Pitchford will get exonerated of this or whatever. But the problem is now, if Borderlands 3 ever does, whenever they release a new trailer, the problem is you're gonna have the idiots on YouTube like, oh, here's the child porn dude, and sadly that might follow him for a while. And that's the problem with making allegations is, sometimes the internet being the way it is.
I mean, unless it's true, which is
which I mean,
worse.
Hope it's not, because that's really bad for those people that work there at Gearbox. Like, that's awful. But
like Gearbox as a company is perfectly fine, but
right,
that dude running it, I don't think anyone wants him there.
Yeah, we'll see how this keeps going. Because again, maybe some other Gearbox people start speaking out or whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, Rockstar, they're doing fine with Red Dead 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5, but once again, someone is trying to take advantage of their games making a lot of money, very much like Lindsay Lohan tried to do with Grand Theft Auto. The Pinkerton Agency does not like the way that their family is portrayed in Red Dead Redemption 2, and they are now suing Rockstar for the representation. Saying that pretty much like they're giving a false impression of the Pinkertons or whatever, and it's like, yeah, do you not know that your family did some really bad shit? Like,
well, they're not even a family; they're like a subsidiary of some
it's like
Danish or whatever security company.
But they've also been like in a bunch of other
Swedish,
Western crap. It's like why are you attacking Red Dead if you're not attacking? Did you sue HBO for Deadwood? Like,
I think I might be wrong, but I think in BioShock Infinite, Booker is a Pinkerton detective.
Yes, he's a former Pinkerton agent.
Yeah, they've been in games. I think they were in Red Dead Redemption 1.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of what Take-Two alleges in the countersuit is that the Pinkerton National Detective Agency appears in other Western fiction, and that agency played a major role in real 19th and early 20th century American history.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is stupid.
If you ask 10 people, what is Microsoft or what is Facebook, and then you said, what is a Pinkerton? What the fuck is that?
I bet all 10 people, unless they're saying that they played Red Dead 2 right then, would tell you they don't know who they are.
Yeah. I mean, they're still around, but as far as like an American agency or like an American company, they're fairly defunct, I think.
Yeah, until I had to look up information for this story, I didn't know who the Pinkertons were either. So,
yeah,
it should let you know that they're kind of just trying to see if they can get some money off damages or whatever. I feel like, which we might as well talk about it because it's in here. The Netflix one with the choose your own adventure people for Bandersnatch. I feel like that one has more legs than this one does, because they actually have evidence of, hey, we talked to you, Netflix, and you chose to never make a deal with us, and you went ahead and decided to make this thing. You never got a license from us to do it. You used choose your own adventure in some of the marketing, and yeah,
that's the only part that could be liable, is like the choose your own adventure title or tagline.
Right.
But like the idea itself isn't that original.
It's not, but apparently they own the trademark for the phrase.
That's what I mean. So, like for marketing, or that's why I say like that's the liable part. But like making that episode, no.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he could have called it something else, and that's the problem. Like, they decided to use that there.
Choose your own story. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, they're crazy about it. They apparently went after Jeep for using that in an ad before. So, but honestly, this Red Dead thing with the Pinkertons, I feel like that's gonna get thrown out, or maybe Rockstar wins because it's so stupid. But
yeah,
it just felt like you needed a laugh for the day. Go ahead. Something that, or maybe it is even more funny. Who knows? The social media stuff for this guy has been crazy. It is called the Mad Box after all, but so Slightly Mad Studios CEO Ian Bell, he's basically decided to announce that he's making this Mad Box console it's going to have the tech of like a PC from like 2 to 3 years from now. And it's going to support 120 frames per second for VR play. It's mainly for like more about VR than anything else. And, he talks crap about consoles and how they exclude people and all that stuff. And so he wants to make this Mad Box. And he even had a ridiculous, like you get 150 grand, or if you come up with a name that they end up using or something. I was like, yeah, I want to see that actually happen. You're going to give somebody that money, but I don't know. This seems like another Ouya waiting to happen.
No, this seems like another Phantom Infinium Labs thing waiting to happen. Because at least the Ouya came out.
You think this never comes out? He seems pretty adamant.
I mean, first of all, Slightly Mad Studios, they're not exactly a big company. Like, if Activision said, we're making a console, then I'd believe them.
Right.
But some, company that's made, a handful of racing games and that's it, not really.
But he's rich.
I mean, he might be, but eventually the money's going to run out. He's not Gabe Newell rich.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Valve made those Steam boxes, and they bombed, and, they, basically discontinued them and disappeared them, frankly.
I don't blame them at all.
Yeah.
why keep something going that like is obviously not doing anything?
Like, it's not. It shouldn't be called the Slightly Mad Box. It should be called the fucking Crazy Box.
Yep, totally mad box. Like just
Also,
whatever.
well, also the funny thing is, let's say this thing comes out, the one studio it's not going to have on there is any EA games,
Yep.
because you know the story with him and EA, right?
Forgot.
They were. I think they made Need for Speed Shift, the first one,
Oh, that's right. Okay.
and
Go
they.
ahead.
I think they were contracted to do Need for Speed Shift 2, but EA basically like canceled their contract, and then they tried to like buy the company or like buy like most of the workforce to make the game like on the cheap, and like that's why that Slightly Mad made Project Cars as like kind of a Hail Mary, and it worked
Yeah.
for them. But yeah, there's an interview with the CEO of Slightly Mad. He's pretty resentful of EA.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, and obviously won't have PSVR or the Sony exclusive stuff either. So
Yeah,
we'll see if this Mad Box ever comes out, but I doubt it
yeah.
highly ever happening. But
Or if it does, it's going to be like ridiculously expensive or in such a niche, market that no one's going to care. Like it's not going to go into a Best Buy and there's going to be, 50 of them sitting there for people to buy.
yeah, it's gonna have to be cheap too, because I mean, I think a lot of people that bought like PSVR had sold decently, but I didn't see a lot of people really talking about it until those Black Friday bundles and holiday bundles. So
I mean, we got them, so
yeah,
that should tell you something.
we got them, which we'll talk about when we get to the gameplay section. But it's like, just yeah, I don't know. VR is not mainstream right now,
Yeah.
so you're gonna have to do a lot to get a lot of people to buy that console if that's your main reason for that. Whatever. This dude is slightly mad. So, GameStop. They have not been doing well as far as all brick and mortar stores are getting affected in one way or another, unless you're Walmart. And GameStop being a particularly mostly selling games, they try to get in everything else. Not doing well because we're headed toward the digital age, and also their used games are, they could do a better job on the pricing for that stuff. Either way, they're getting bought out by somebody by next month. Wall Street Journal is saying it's either going to be the same people that own Hot Topic now, or it's going to be another company that owns, I can't remember what right now, but
I think it was like the other company is like specializes in helping companies get back on their feet.
yeah, something of that. It's like Apollo Global Management or whatnot. So we don't know yet how this is going to affect GameStop or the employees, or if there's going to be shutting down of more stores. They're already getting into they bought ThinkGeek. They're already getting into half the stores collectibles. So I don't know how much more they're going to be able to shed on space, but
I mean, I think I talked with you about that. Like, some GameSpots are terrible.
yeah, they're like really small, and they pack everything in.
Yeah, the fact they're trying to pack in more, geek or merchandise crap. It's like, this does not help matters.
Yeah.
There's one GameSpot by my store, or GameStop by my store, that there's two walkways. One to go to the back of the store, and one to go to the front, and that's it.
That's how most of them are set up, I feel like.
Yeah, but not for just one person.
Oh, not one person. But, like, there is kind of like a line to go.
Yeah. But you usually can fit two or three people between each side. This has like
Right.
one person.
Wow, that's bad. Yeah, and I mean, I would say my store does fine. It's also sort of right next to Walmart, so I think it gets benefited from that. But
Well, I also showed you that video of that like Mall of America GameStop, which is
right.
huge.
Oh yeah,
And I
but
think
it's
if
the
like
Mall of America too.
I think if GameStop had more bigger stores, it would actually help a lot.
Yeah, I would agree there. I mean,
Because they could have like their retro side, or not retro, but their geek side, and then
mm,
the other side they could actually have retro games in stock, as well as like their used current gen stuff.
I saw that they started like mine had the sign where they started taking the retro stuff in store again.
Yeah, mine does that too. I think
So,
they should really do is just rebrand back to Funko Land. That
eh,
was cool.
would they do that though? I don't
No,
know, especially with having
I
Funko
wish
stuff
Funko
in
Land was
the.
cool.
Yeah, and I think even their collectibles are starting to like not do well for them either because um, talking to, or I haven't talked to, but hearing from Hot Topics and all these other places, their sales for the pops are going down, and that was another thing that GameStop was kind of banking on as well.
Well,
So
I mean, we've talked about it before, but they've made too many Funko Pop lines.
yeah, so we'll see how that goes. It looks like they're doing less this year from the not having that many announcements, and we're almost into February, but we'll see when the toy fair comes if they just
Yeah,
release a
just
billion
wait.
things. But hopefully GameStop sticks around and does fine, because I wouldn't want a lot of people to be losing jobs or anything. Something that both of us are, I would say, mostly excited about. Persona 5R got announced. This is kind of old, but still wanted to talk about it. Persona 5R got announced. No Switch talk yet. There's still a chance that Persona 5S will get announced in March 2019 when the next teaser is supposed to be happening. But there was a PlayStation logo thing shown on the little teaser trailer. Obviously, Persona has a history of making different enhanced versions of their, the big games. So you think this is what this is really? Just another?
What I could, well, it might be like a version of Persona 5 with like all the DLC baked into it.
Yeah, could be that.
I mean, it could be kind of nice because their DLC is kind of expensive. Um, could be a portable version, like the Switch version. You never know. Uh, I wouldn't mind a VR version.
Weren't there characters that were going to be in the game that they took out at the last minute?
No, there were like storylines. Like I think Hifumi was supposed to be like much more of a character, like an actual playable character, or like she was supposed to be in your party, but they axed her at like the last second.
Ah, maybe she's like the starring role, like they did with
No, I don't, because
Marie.
no one cares about Hifumi.
We'll see. We'll see what they decide to do, but I would like to see it on Switch. I know a lot of people would.
I mean,
So
I've actually been replaying that game recently, like within the past few weeks.
I would, and for those of you that got the dancing games, they did add some more songs if you got the season pass. I think like 10 or 15 more songs. So
Yeah,
there you go. People complaining about the set list being too small or whatever when it first came out. Yeah. Aside from this is movie news with Just Dance getting movie rights. Sony got the movie rights to Just Dance. Apparently, it was kind of competitive. Honestly, I don't know why, because that genre of films kind of died a while ago, unless they're just trying to bring them back, the step up movies and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, but Just Dance is an established franchise, so that's probably why.
but what are you gonna? Was it gonna be like the? Oh, what is that damn It's like Glee, but like more adult. It has like 3 movies now. Uh,
Oh, the Elizabeth Banks directed one. I forget
yeah,
what it's
yeah.
called.
The I keep thinking about that stupid animated movie, the Sing movie. It's not that.
Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, Pitch Perfect. Like, I guess I could see them doing that for dancing movies or whatnot, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they've obviously not learned their lesson from Assassin's Creed, so they'll just
You
keep
know, maybe they'll get
putting
Michael Fassbender to be in it.
again. You want to see him dancing? Is
Yeah.
that a goal of yours? Uncharted movie now has another director, Dan Trachtenberg. He's the next guy up here. Since Sean Levy had to leave due to scheduling conflicts, Tom Holland is still set to be Nathan Drake, which obviously with him doing Spider-Man, he's making a heck of a name for himself right now. So that'll help Sony when the time comes for that. I mean, do you want an Uncharted movie?
I think Tom Holland would be good in it, but I don't think it would be a good movie
Why not?
because there are very few good video game movies.
But
And I would really probably just get like young Indiana Jones vibe from it.
I feel like that's what they're kind of trying to go for. Isn't Uncharted already pretty cinematic anyway? I mean,
Yeah, but they're not going to recreate the game, in the movie.
right. There'll be parts of that in there, but yeah, definitely hope they don't just recreate the game in the movie because that would be that won't be great.
I mean, honestly, that Nathan Fillion thing they did he did, I think last year was pretty good.
Yeah,
But
even the director said they loved it. So
they're not going to do that because Nathan Fillion isn't like a quote unquote movie star,
yeah, that's true.
and he's too old for what they're shooting for.
I don't know that Tom Holland would be the reason it would be good. I think it would,
No, he'd be the good part probably. I mean, everything else would be bad.
yeah. Yeah, Minecraft also got a new director as well.
Like Tom Holland is, that is a watchable enough actor.
Yeah,
Like
I mean he's great in
fine.
Spider-Man,
Yeah,
so I'm fine with that. Ish. Yeah, I mean it can't be worse than the other video game movies that come out. So I mean Tomb Raider was kind of blah.
Yeah, no one saw that. It was kind of bombed.
Yeah, and they actually tried to make it more like the game, and that didn't work.
Didn't help.
No. Speaking of things getting made again, Disney is not done with their live action remakes, and why would they? They keep making tons of money. So Hunchback of Notre Dame is the next one that's getting a live action remake. That's one of my favorite Disney movies, so I'm all fine with that. Josh Gad is going to be playing Quasimodo. So I mean, I like him in most of the things he's in. So
Isn't he a tall guy or no?
yeah, he's got the body for it. I don't know that he's that tall, but
Like
I mean,
5'6".
they can do. Yeah, that's not tall.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm 5'6". I'm short. So he was in the Beauty and the Beast remake too.
Yeah.
So he's got a history with them, along with being in Olaf. So it's gonna be based off it's not gonna be based off the stage play, but it's gonna be sort of more based off the animated movie, obviously. So some of these have worked. I'm sort of excited for the Lion King one. It looks good. I don't know. I just wish Disney
You're
would.
excited for Aladdin?
I am sort of, but I don't know. I just wish Disney wasn't like redoing their whole freaking library in live action. But
Well, I mean, the last, except for not Enchanted, Frozen, their last original movie was Princess and the Frog, and that kind of bombed.
technically, I think Wreck-It Ralph counts as.
I mean, like in the traditional,
Oh, okay, okay.
princess. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they lucked out with Frozen because I think if Frozen hadn't hit such a big, I think people would be like, well, Disney Studio is not doing great without
Yeah.
Pixar. So, even Pixar's had their lumps with.
I mean, but yeah, it's a shame because Disney can be creative, but instead they just want to make like, okay, here's a live action Winnie the Pooh, or here's a Mary Poppins sequel that no one asked for.
Yeah,
that
Winnie
is
the Pooh
fine,
was bad.
but like I didn't need to see that. Or
yeah, I mean, like I would want them to do more like the Maleficent one. At least that one was different.
or Enchanted, that was cool.
Yeah,
like that was a pretty good spin or a take on that formula. That was pretty subversive.
Yeah, I just
didn't they announce Enchanted 2 and it never get made?
I think so. Yeah, that might have been the time where they were like in a flux of what they were gonna do, and then I think one of the live actions really hit, and they think they might have canned it and started just going on the whole trend of doing the live actions.
Instead, they made The Huntsman.
Oh, that was awful. But yeah,
the movie that propelled Chris Hemsworth into movie stardom.
Yeah, I like that cast too, but no. Well, a movie that did really well that people didn't think would when it first came. I mean, at least weren't expecting a lot out of when it came out. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And that movie is great, by the way. If for some reason you still haven't seen it, you need to go see it like right now. Of course, they're making a second one. But now there's talk about a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse like TV show. Which... like, I'm okay with it. I feel like it's not going to be anywhere near as good.
Well, there's two problems. Like, one is the money. Like, it would be expensive to make and to produce. Like, and the second is they tried this already with, there was an MTV Spider-Man cartoon in 2003 that no one cared about.
Well, Disney XD still makes Spider-Man cartoons.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously meant for the kids, but that's my thing too. Is that one was a little bit more adult.
Yeah, Spider-Verse is kind of it's not an adult movie, but I think it's PG-13.
Yeah,
characters die.
Right, and some of the things they talk about are a bit more adult in that movie than.
And also, you have to think like, okay, Spider-Verse probably took 2 years to make, maybe more. Like, how long is a TV show going to take? Even if it was just 13 episodes, like
it'll take a while.
Years. Yeah.
And will you get the whole cast back to?
Yeah, you get
to do it.
Yeah, like the knockoff version of Miles Morales' voice. They have to, they can pay for scale or something.
I doubt that Nicolas Cage is going to want to do that.
I think he's the one actor I could see coming back.
He was great in that movie. Like, I was surprised, like, how...
If they pay him $20 in bus fare, I'm sure he'd be happy.
Oh, my God.
I thought he was good. The one weird one I thought was Haley Stenfield, or whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
Because she played, Gwen Stacy, or Spider-Gwen.
Right.
And she didn't sing.
That's fine. Don't need the anime one was hilarious. I laughed at the. Yeah. I really want, if they're gonna make a series with Spider-Man more in it. I want him. Like, that's the thing too. Are they gonna have them make cameos? Is it only gonna be about Miles? Like,
I could probably foresee like a series where Miles goes into each of their respective worlds.
Yeah. Or they could do like the Arrowverse, where they have like a once a whatever season like big get together.
Yeah. Do you know? I showed this to a friend of mine. But do you still watch that DuckTales new version?
I'm like behind on it, but yeah.
Do you know who they got Donald Duck's voice to be?
Who?
Don Cheadle.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a story element where like Donald Duck is freaking out, and they have to like understand him. So I think Quentin or Gyro Gearloose, he gives him like a pill to swallow to like fix his voice box, and Donald instantly transforms to like squeaking to like Don Cheadle is voicing him.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Which I gotta get further, and then there's so much stuff to watch now. It's
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
hard to keep up with everything. But yeah, one thing you won't be watching though is Star Trek 4 because that got canceled. Are you?
Thank you,
upset?
Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, they got that canceled.
Well, they both said, well, we want more money because we're movie stars, and it's like, not really. Like,
What?
Chris Hemsworth is popular because of Thor, but his other movies not popular. And Chris Pine is popular because of Star Trek and Wonder Woman to an extent, but he wasn't the main of that movie.
Well, wasn't he Kirk?
No, and Wonder Woman, I meant.
Oh yeah. I just remember him being the one that dies. That's
Yeah. And so they wanted like way more money, and also Star Trek Beyond kind of didn't do well financially. Like I think it made money, but not as much as they were hoping. And also, I imagine it might be hard to kind of write around. I forget the actor's name, but Chekhov dying, like the actor dying.
oh yeah. So that's gonna be difficult.
But I mean, it's a shame. But they're also trying to whore out the Star Trek franchise on TV like nothing else. So
well, we did talk about that he was gonna do that. So
well, now the Jean-Luc Picard TV show, there's now an animated cartoon show, and a Michelle Yeoh TV show, and it's like, all right,
Lord. Way too much.
Let's see how thin you can spread this butter.
Yeah, it's eventually gonna get way too thin. Also, Margot Robbie is going to be Barbie in the Barbie movie, and there's also rumors going around that there's going to be a Harley Quinn trilogy movies. So she's going to be busy.
I kind of don't want either. Like, I guess she is a good Barbie, but Harley Quinn is a bad character.
Like, you mean her as a character in Suicide Squad, or?
I just mean kind of her as a character in general.
Yeah, but, there's always a chance somebody could redeem her.
Like, she was good in, like, the Batman animated show, and that's kind of about it. Because she was a minor character. Like, they didn't focus on her.
Yeah, she was there.
There weren't 10,000 cosplayers dressing up like her all the time.
Well, that's why they want to do the show, the movie. Because,
Like, she is probably... I would say she is the most overexposed comic character.
Yeah, because even Joker has had his time where you have the movie coming out and whatever, but even Joker's kind of gone down a little bit on there.
Or like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like the joke used to be like Wolverine was the most overexposed, but she probably took over that role.
Yeah, definitely she is one of the most talked about.
Yeah.
Right now. Speaking of DC, Aquaman's made a bunch of dough, and now DC is saying they don't care about their shared universe that much.
To be fair, no one else did either.
Did you really ever care about it?
Yeah.
To me, that just seems like, oh, we finally have a reason to not care about this. Okay. Cool. Whatever. Thanks for the excuse, by the way.
I mean, I didn't see it. I heard it was, passable.
Yeah, I didn't hear it was like great. It's just international. It seems like a lot of people will see anything at this point.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the one DC movie I'm looking forward to is that Captain Marvel movie or Shazam.
or yeah, Shazam. I'm definitely looking up to that. April 5th. That one looks good. It's the new trailer that they have where he's talking. Him and the kid are trying to get a layer or whatever.
Yeah.
I laughed.
But like every other DC movie or proposed movie, I'm like, nope. I don't want to see a Cyborg movie. Don't want to see a Flash movie.
Nope.
Kind of don't want to see. I didn't see Wonder Woman 1, so I'm probably not going to see Wonder Woman 2.
I really liked Wonder Woman, but that's the only one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm good if they take a really big break from Batman.
The only Batman I would like to see is like Batman Beyond.
That'd be awesome, but I don't think they would though.
Like get Michael Keaton to be old Bruce Wayne.
There you go. Can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
So are you excited for this Power Rangers fighting game?
If it wasn't a mobile game, I would be.
Yeah, that's well.
I mean, it looks like a mobile.
It's made by a mobile publisher or mobile developer, and it's coming to all the consoles. I think the idea is cool, but
well, I watched the trailer, and they literally had Jason David Frank playing the fucking game, but it wasn't him as Tommy in the game.
Yep.
It's like, I know how that dude sounds when he grunts. I've been watching Power Rangers for the past 2 months. I'm well acquainted. I'd like to think he makes those sounds during sex also.
Oh God. Okay, we're going into weird territory now.
But I mean, most of those actors are still alive. Get them in there. Most of them aren't doing shit.
Yeah, but I don't know that Enway has the money to pay for that. It's not like
joke
Bandai
about Nick
Namco's
Cage
doing it.
and getting bus fare. Like, I'm sure if most of them showed up, it'd be fine.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about games we've been playing here. I guess we can talk about our thoughts on PSVR first.
Sure. You got the Moss.
I got the Moss and Astrobot combo.
I got the Borderlands 2 and Beat Saber bundle with the Move controllers.
Oh, I wish I could play Beat Saber.
It works. Like, it really works well. The soundtrack is bad, but the actual it does what it
They're adding DLC packs this year, from what I heard.
Yeah, but it's never going to be music I like or music I want.
I've heard a lot of people like to use it as exercise.
Yeah, I would do that if I didn't have 2 feet of room to work with.
Right, yeah. That's my problem too. Like I might consider taking it downstairs.
Like, I was sitting on my bed playing it, and even that was kind of a stretch because it's like, oh, you need to bend down to avoid this wall coming at you. And I bent down as far as I could, and I still hit it. I'm like, well, I'm as low as I can really get without really screwing up my back.
But you enjoy the game for the most part?
Yeah, it was tactile, and yeah, it was good. Borderlands 2 was not.
Yeah, Borderlands 2, I don't know.
Well, you said you played it. I played it for a half hour, and then I got motion sickness from it. So
I did I want to say 6 missions or whatever. And
I didn't even get out of that frozen area.
I never got sick. It was just kind of okay, this is fine. I'm not that excited to play this.
There are also a bunch of modes, like VR options to turn off fisheye or
Yeah.
do different stuff, and that might have helped, but it just felt really
Yeah,
bad to
the
me.
teleporting thing bothered the crap out of me, so I just started making it where I moved like I was actually playing the game on regular,
Yeah,
and it's fine. Like, if you really really like Borderlands and your VR works for you, I think you'll like it. I just was
yeah,
never the biggest Borderlands fan, so I also that's like a game that you want to play in small doses. I don't know that I want to play that like for hours and hours.
yeah.
Um, Tetris Effect is awesome
Yep.
in VR. So
I got the game, but I haven't played it in VR yet. I just been playing it in non VR, but I've been playing Star Trek Bridge Crew with a friend of mine.
how's that?
That's fine. It's hard
It's
to play
not
with only
much
two
of a.
people.
Is it much of a game or is it just like?
Oh yeah, like you have to go to like a star system and scan planets or scan something, and then you get attacked by some Klingon, and you have to like fly around with the helm, attack with your tactical, and then repair with like your engineer. Uh, it's funny. It has two different bridges. It has like the Star Trek movie bridge from like J.J. Abrams verse, so like the new one,
Okay.
and then it has like the classical original series bridge, which is like a series of buttons that don't tell you shit. Like it's just like
So
a
how
bunch
does
of
that
like
work? You just start pressing buttons and.
yeah, like there's like a head like a help thing that like it overlays like what each button does. Like oh, this is impulse control or this is warp control or but there's no information at all. So I was like, this is worthless. My friend was like, I was playing with my friend. He was like, oh, we got to play this. We got to play this to get a trophy. I'm like, you can play it. I don't give a shit about this trophy.
You're like I played enough of it. I'm good.
Yeah,
Um,
I got Astrobot also, but I haven't played it yet.
Astrobot is really it's really cute. It's really good. It's just there's times where you're gonna have to look behind you, and I've started feeling pain in my neck because you literally have to do like a 180 sometimes because you'll hear them like go or whatever, and you're like, ah crap, I missed one, and yeah,
I'm in a chair that has a spinning base. I'm cool.
yeah, it's really neat to like look up or down and you'll see them and like wonder how the heck am I supposed to get down here, and it's a really good platform. I liked it. Um,
Have you played Moss yet or
I
no?
played Moss. It's also really cute. It's you're playing like a storybook and you move the book around and then it actually gets into like the levels and you're like helping him like move stuff out of his way or move stuff into his way so he can climb, and then you control him. Once you move the thing, you can then control him with the controller. So it's cool. It's like really like a really neat interactive, um, like helping him along, but also like experiences his story too. It's really good. I liked it.
I don't know if you played it, but I played Thumper also.
Oh, Thumper is so good in VR.
I couldn't make it past the second level though. Like it tells me it has this like one jump control or jump command that I just always miss, so I just fail the level out.
I have not. I got through like halfway through the second level, and I think I stopped playing, and I haven't gone
Yeah.
back to VR at all. But um,
So
yeah,
yeah.
I played Farpoint too. It's good. The shooting
So
is weird, but yeah. But
yeah. Well, the thing I'll mention is that the thing I'm doing that you're not is I hooked my PSVR up to my PC
how's
because you
that?
can use it with Steam VR. It's hacked together. So Steam VR, it really requires motion controllers.
hmm
Like that's really how it plays or how it uses or what it does. There are some games that don't use it. So I have a game called Distance, a next generation racer. I think that's what it's called, and it's like the San Francisco Rush 2049 game. It looks like it's in Tron.
Oh, nice.
That game is awesome with PSVR. Like it is super fast. You're like taking these jumps like off levels. But if you look down, you can see through the ground. Like your car has like a glass bottom, so you can actually see where you land. And I was like, this is awesome. And the other thing I've been playing was No Limits 2. It's like a roller coaster simulator on Steam.
So you actually get to like ride the roller coaster?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Oh, okay.
You can build roller coasters and then ride them. The UI in VR is terrible because the resolution is like too small. Like the font is too small.
Right.
And I can't figure out how to increase it. But like the actual sensation of riding roller coasters is great. Like I had a friend try it and she freaked out like a minute in because she thought it was too fast.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you can also like add weather. Like you can do like snow effects or rain or like a thunderstorm.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
The thing I've been trying to do is to get Google Earth to run in VR. And it just to get these motion controllers to work in VR on PC, I've had to buy 2 PS3 cameras and connect them to my PC.
That sounds annoying.
Because I can't use my webcam because that just doesn't work apparently.
Right.
And it only uses like the PS3 iToy camera. So I'm having to string these things along my wall, or on different crap in my room. And I got one controller to work, but it was such a weird angle that I don't know what the hell is going on.
Well, hey, at least you're getting it to work, right?
Yeah, kinda. There's a guy on YouTube that I need to bug soon because he's like the guy who got me interested in this in the first place. But I want to get Beat Saber to work on PC, and there's a game called Audio Shield that I really want to try also. I wish it was
on PC. Beat Saber, you can pretty much play any song you want, right?
Yeah, I think. Well, you can. I think you have to make the level yourself, or you can like download other people's levels.
That's still fun though.
Yeah, well, Audio Shield is you can plug in any song, and you have the 2 controllers, and one is your blue shield and one is your red, and like energy pulses come at you, you have to like guard against them with both shields.
Yeah.
So like red against red shields or red against red shots and blue against blue. But that's the one you can plug in any song in, and it works fine.
That sounds fun, man. I'm a big rhythm game person, so I am all about.
Yeah, I'll show you the song that looks cool. But and I tried like a few other games. It's okay on PC, but I don't have a ton of VR games at the moment.
I played Wipeout on it. It's pretty good too. I enjoyed it. It really does feel like you're racing that thing, and I have RE7. I haven't played it yet, so
I don't have RE7 is the one I want to get.
I took advantage of that sale and got it for 15.
20? Oh yeah.
So I think that's it for the. Honestly, if you're waiting around for VR, or if it goes on a sale again, like maybe during income tax time or whatnot, I would get it, especially if it has those games on it, because they're all good. It's Beat Saber, Astrobot, Moss, all worth playing if you have the time worth spending in VR.
You and I got to try that Final Fantasy 15 VR fishing game.
Yeah, I got to do. I would say it is a lot of wires and stuff like that. I know some people have a problem if you're using audio through like speakers or like have surround sound with having it connected still. So
yeah,
might want to check your system with that. Aside from that, we've both been playing 3 games that were. So let me get Y2K out of the way, and then we can talk about the other stuff here.
The good games.
Look, Y2K is not for everybody. I'm gonna be straight up there because the main character is kind of obnoxious, and he's a hipster, and you may not make it anywhere close to where he starts sort of redeeming himself. So there's times where if I wasn't reviewing the game, I would have turned it off.
So it's a Scott Pilgrim RPG.
Sort of. The combat doesn't help either because you have to play mini games like Paper Mario with everybody, and every single attack you have to do it, so it's really slow. Sometimes it took me like 10 minutes just to get through one battle. And it's like eventually you have to figure out how to use their skills because their attacks aren't strong enough, and some of them are like so convoluted. It's like, okay, or just some of them is just like one of them I have to play Pong, and the control stick is very kind of janky, and I'll go up and it goes all the way up and miss the ball. So, and then it punishes you by not, like, the attack really does anything, so then you have to spend 5 more minutes trying to beat the damn boss. The story's also weird. Like, it gives in all this kind of sci-fi shit, and, like, you know, I'm fine with that because I like sci-fi stuff, but if sci-fi's not your cup of tea, that might get you off there as well. Just some of the 90s stuff is also weird. It's also based around the Y2K thing that was a real problem. Like, my grandpa actually had, I think he ate for 2 years off the food that he had stored in his basement for Y2K afterwards. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's only $20, but maybe I'd wait for it to go on a sale or something. It's on all the systems except for Xbox One. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. It's certain kind of people. I'd watch some walkthroughs and see what you feel like with that. Both of us have been playing. Both of us played the Resident Evil 2 demo.
Yep.
I'd actually never played a Resident Evil game until I played that demo. I played through it twice. I beat it on the Xbox One with like 8 minutes to spare, and I want to play Resident Evil 2 now. So,
too bad.
Yeah, no, but it's really good. I liked it. I like just that it looks really good. The shooting feels good. The story. I know you're a big fan of it. So, what do you think of?
I played it. I actually beat it the first time I played it with like 6 minutes to spare, but I was also kind of like looking around at everything because that's a game I like distinctly remember playing as a kid, like much more than like Resident Evil 1. So I was like, oh yeah, I need to get the stupid spade key for this door and stuff like that. It was great, I thought. Like, it looked fantastic. Okay, I was at the point when I was a kid. I was like, I read the like Resident Evil 2 novelization.
Was it good?
It was fine. Yeah, it was slightly different from the game, but yeah, I thought everything worked pretty well. I'm sure every police station is like that. It's an old art museum.
Yeah, it has, weapon cards just laying around and all that. I totally skipped that room the second time. Like, I went in and got the shotgun and all that, and I think that's what made it to where I didn't pass on PS4 because I spent a lot of time looking around and searching in rooms and stuff. And
yeah, it was also funny that like people hacked the PC version so you can play forever. Or
that was gonna happen.
You can like spawn in different items. Like you can get to like the spade key like super quick, or just like it's in my inventory now. So you're able to go in like rooms that
you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Did stuff actually? Did like they have zombies in them?
There was some stuff in there, but I mean, at a certain point, you just run out of assets because demo's only like 8 gigabytes.
Yeah, I thought the zombies all looked. I mean, the game looks gorgeous. It's like really. Anaya walked in at some point. I was like, no, go out!
Yeah.
I'm trying to kill this thing that looks terrible. So, yeah, it's I had a couple of times where it scared me a little bit. So
Yeah.
We're also both playing Tales of Vesperia, the Definitive Edition. You're playing on PC, I'm playing Xbox One. You're further than I am, but it looks a heck of a lot better than I remember on the 360, obviously, but there's like a charm to those characters that I like a lot. Like Rapide he makes me laugh. Like every time he does the where Estelle is happy about getting like the win or whatever at the end, and he just whines and she's like Rapide, God. And like I don't know why it makes me laugh all the time, but
I mean, I'm at least 3 or 4 hours more than you are in those games. I'm at the point now where like Carol is trying to like get the Vesperia guild started with Yuri. I was gonna say, I got to like the new voice actor parts. The guy playing like Yuri is terrible. And the sad part is, I mean, they probably couldn't afford him, and that's why they did this. But like the guy playing Yuri was Troy Baker,
right?
Back in the day. Like that dude is still working, and I think he put out a tweet saying like, "Oh, I didn't even get asked to like come back for it." Because I think he said, like, I would have done it.
Right.
But the problem is he's probably too much, so...
Yeah, I mean...
well, the other two things I'll say is that game is very... It doesn't provide a lot of help.
No, it doesn't.
As far as, like, telling you where to go. Like, there's a journal that kind of does it, but it's like, oh, go to this town. It's like, okay, where is it?
Yeah, the map doesn't really tell you... where stuff is.
And the battle system is just weird.
That's most Tales games.
Yeah, I think I'm realizing I just don't like how Tales games play, because it's a 3D battle system, but it's on like it seems like it's on a 2D plane.
Yeah.
So you like hold like left or right, and your character just moves left or right.
Yeah.
But if you press up and down, they don't do anything. Unless you're holding like a button down to like activate 3D mode.
Right, you hold the free run button.
Yeah.
And it lets you move around. It took me a while to like learn to do that so I wouldn't just block and get hit, and then after that
Yeah, like enemies like really like group around you and can like really screw you up if you're not doing. Like I'm thinking I compare it to like Lost Odyssey. Not Lost Odyssey, Eternal Sonata, or even like Ni no Kuni 2. And it's like, this did not age that well.
All made around the same, I think made by the same people.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's also fun to cheat in that game, because I just got like infinite money now.
Yeah, the money kind of gets broken pretty quick. Even where I am, I'm not having to... I could literally buy everything in one of those shops and still have a bunch of money.
Yeah. But also it's annoying that, like, you can only hold 15 healing potions.
Yes, that is... What? Like, healing potions is something you should have, like, or 99 of. You
can't, like, if someone uses it in like, a battle, there's, like, a 2-second or 30-second wait timer before someone else can use it.
Yep. And I had to go back through in the options and like take it off cancel and push the allow thing so it'll do it when I press the right stick.
Yeah.
That was a little annoying, but I think overall I like it. It's
it's a certain blast from the past for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Agree on that one.
Now I just need to get Lost Odyssey and Eternal Sonata on PC.
I could see Eternal Sonata happening. Maybe.
Yeah.
If they want to go in the back catalog. I could see Microsoft doing Lost Odyssey on like Game Pass.
Yeah, they'd fuck it up.
And we're both playing Ice Combat 4. I played one mission.
I played 2.
Or Ice Combat 7, sorry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... They talk a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of story. Like, the beginning, I'm just kind of like... Okay, this is a long exposition to get to the first mission.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already kind of lost in the story. I'll
Are
just
you even
continue to shoot
playing
down
as
enemy
her?
planes.
Because like they don't.
No, you're not.
So
That's
what
the
was the
weird
point
thing.
of that then?
Yeah,
That
like
yeah.
the intro of the game is like this 10-minute long video. It seems
Mm-hmm.
like of this woman talking about like her grandfather being a fighter pilot, and
Yeah.
she's like repairing this plane to like
It
fly,
took them
and
like
then
8 years to freaking repair it, and
yeah, she goes like the initial voyage, and she gets shot down, and then all the while you're a pilot named Trigger, actually doing like the ace combat shit of like shooting planes down and stuff. And at the moment, the stories aren't connected at all.
yeah,
I
right.
know they do at some point, but
Apparently, Ace Combat has like a history of the stories are just crazy.
yeah,
So, uh, like the flying feels good though. Um,
yeah, it's pretty. All right, it's responsive enough, and it's not like a simulator game. Like it's very action or arcade oriented. So
yeah, you can shoot the missiles and special weapons and all that stuff. The VR, by the way, if you're wanting to get into VR, it's not like the whole game. It's like 3 special missions that they made for VR.
yeah,
So just let you know if you
I haven't
would like.
played it yet. I don't know if I will or not. We'll see.
But yeah, and it also doesn't really give you a lot of helpful tips either. Um, kind of just tells you the basics, and then it's like you figure out the rest. All right. Anything else you want to?
Uh, let's see. I played Titan Quest with a friend of mine on PS4. It's an old action RPG game. Uh, yeah, I played some Overwatch to get a stupid skin,
How was that?
and it was fine. I got into a really good group today where we had like 4 victories in a row. I was shocked because normally I play like 3 or 4 rounds, I win one, and the other 3 are like complete failures. So I stop playing and get pissed.
Well,
And yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is not worth $30, let alone 60.
yeah. Wait till it's like 10.
Yeah, wait till it's cheaper than Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then buy that one instead.
There's that too.
Yeah, because the 2 funniest things about Shadow of the Tomb Raider are it still has there's a character named Jonah from the first 2 games,
Mm.
and in the second game, I thought it was like a African American guy, and in this one he looks like an Uso brother. He's like a Samoan, and I was like, I'm literally like, who the fuck is this guy? Like they called him Jonah, and he looks completely different. And I
That's
actually had to go on
funny.
the Wikipedia page and like, oh no, it's the same character, like voiced by the same guy. And I think he looks completely different from Rise of the Tomb Raider to this one.
Uh,
He has
wow.
he literally has like an arm tattoo, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
He also looks like 20 years younger.
Jeez. Why do they keep
And
changing him? That doesn't make sense.
well, in the first 2 games, it kept him fairly the same, but this game is a different developer.
That still doesn't make sense why you change the way he looks, though.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing is like, I think I showed you this in a video, but like in the intro of the game, Laura takes like the magical dagger
Yeah.
and causes this earthquake in Mexico, like some Mexican island, and then she gets saved from like this tidal wave that has just like destroyed the place, and she's like, "Let's go, let's find stop the evil bad guys," and Jonah's like, "All right, let's help these people first, and then we can go." And she's like, "No, fuck that. Let's just go now." And it's like, wow, you're like the most selfish person in the world, aren't you?
Jesus. Yeah. That does not make you relatable at all there. Well, like I
Yeah.
just want to punch you. Um,
Now, I played most of that game while rewatching the Boondocks, and that was a lot more fun.
Well, speaking of punching, there was a lot of that in Dragon Ball Super Broly. So from this point on, if you don't want to be spoiled of Dragon Ball Super Broly, you might as well just check out. Thank you for listening. If you want to hear more of us, you can always hit the subscribe button on Video Games to the Max or on the whole WTM network. Go visit that WTMnet.com, and yeah, hopefully we'll be back next week, where I swear from now on,
it's no all more
missing weeks. We're going to be doing this weekly. So, yes, Dragon Ball Super Broly. Oh, what'd you think of that first, 30 minutes or so of, a prologue of basically retelling the Bardock story and all that?
Yeah, the first 30 minutes are basically, they're all on Planet Vegeta. It's them as... It's all, King Vegeta and Bardock. Bardock is Goku's dad. And they're just, kind of going about their lives. I thought it was fine. It seemed I like that setup
more than the original movie.
Yeah. Well, the original movie made a little more sense, though, in certain aspects.
Well, but I feel like with the line that he says at the end where he's like, well, his whatever levels are also higher than the prince's, so he's just going to get sent off anyway. And that kind of justifies why he's doing it, aside from the whole, I have a bad feeling.
No, they literally said, you mean Goku's power levels are, right? Or Broly?
Okay, well, Broly's gets sent off because they are higher.
Yeah, but he
does say that, he thinks because his levels, he's just going to be a lower class warrior or whatever, so why don't we just send him off where he'll be at least okay. Yeah.
But, he had more motivation in the Bardock movie because he got infected with that, prophetic blood or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that. For the most part, they kept a lot of that in, though. I was surprised with how much they said Toriyama, wrote this one, but they kept a lot of from that movie.
Well, well, you could really see that Goku is Superman from that sequence. Almost directly.
Definitely.
I was shocked they referenced Vegeta's brother.
Yeah, was it Tarbell, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's not in Dragon Ball, the canon of Dragon Ball yet. Because he was in, some movie that only came out in Japan.
I was sitting there going, I've seen all the movies, I've never heard of friggin' Tarbell.
Yeah. I think there's, a few fan dubs on, YouTube, but it's also just subbed on YouTube. And, Tarbell is, a weak, he's basically, a weakling character.
Oh. Okay.
And he needs help with, he married some, alien woman, I think. I think it's a woman. Not quite sure. And he needs, his brother's help to, stop 2 aliens on their planet. It's not, the deepest show.
Yeah.
But...
I did when they made him the chibi characters, and Raditz is like, "What? You don't care about your brother either?" He's like, "Oh, he got sent off in a pod. All right, whatever. He'll live then."
Yeah, that's a funny sequence. But I was wondering who that 4th Saiyan was, because there was Vegeta, Raditz, Nappa, and a 4th guy.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't know who the 4th one is at all.
Maybe he'll appear and be important or something.
I doubt.
They introduced some new characters, not that many, but obviously the one that's going to get talked about the most is Chi-Lai. She'll also be people's latest, best girl or whatever, that they'll talk about. I thought they had her, she was a good, motivating factor for, to try to point Broly in the direction that his father's abusive, but obviously he is too much, care for his dad not to, go that route or whatever. It's cool that they kind of made her important by the end. Like, I don't know if they're gonna make it. They're obviously gonna make another anime.
Yeah, but it was funny what I think it was Jeffrey Harris said on my Facebook when he was like, I mean, I know why she's angry about Broly, but she also works for Frieza as a bad guy.
Yeah, but she kind of is done working for Frieza by deciding to go over there and be on Vampa, right? I mean,
yeah.
I like him. That was I kind of got sad with the whole the dad cut off the ear of the frickin' creature thing, and then he wears it like a sweater.
Yeah, but it went nowhere. Like I kind of thought at the end the thing would the creature would show up.
Yeah,
and it just didn't.
I guess it means it's dead or whatever, but that's sad. What do you think about like Broly as a whole? Now, obviously he's important now or whatnot, but you think like he's redeemed or?
Well, he's an actual character instead of like, some idiots yelling Kakarot all the time like in the original movie. He was good. I'm sure they'll introduce him into actual Dragon Ball Super soon enough. Because I don't know if they're gonna redo what they did in Super already, like basically redo the first movie or this movie in Super.
Yeah. And add stuff in or. Yeah.
My cat is going crazy. Sorry.
I did like the ending with Goku's like, "Oh, you can call me Kakarot."
Yeah.
Like just like a ode to the old movie, which is fine. Like I'm glad they didn't forget that though. There's a lot of parts that got kept in from that, and then he kind of just expanded on and gave Broly a better backstory, which is the important part. A lot of people weren't happy with Gogeta being the one that killed, or not killed, but like ended the whole thing.
Brett?
Yeah.
Who they want to be?
They wanted Ultra Instinct Goku, or.
Nah. I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it. Number one, because it makes Gogeta canon. Number two, they teased it, right? Like there's parts where you see him turning like the white, and then he does it, and he turns into blue. But because he doesn't have a hold on that power yet, so I like the fact that they didn't just. I don't know how long after Super this is supposed to be, but like it's good that there's something he can go after. Still,
they should have used that fusion dance during the Tournament of Power or whatever it was called, the Universe Tournament.
I
it would have helped against Duran.
Yeah, it would have. And Vegeta, of course, being upset about having to do the dance was great.
I like that. Like
it looked a lot like Gotenks, though. Too.
No, that was the point. Yeah. I like that Broly was just beating the shit out of Frieza for like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah. He just like last all the time. And like Goku going into the ice, like face first, that was pretty awesome too.
Yeah, that first person sequence is really good.
The music is awful though. Like
I love the music because it was like so cheesy. Like they're literally chanting Gogeta like some Gregorian monks chanting it. This is awesome.
It's so bad. Bulma and Frieza basically having the same reason to get the Dragon Balls. That was
It's like let's get a good cosmetic surgeon. It's cool.
And apparently like nobody can beat Whis, I guess, because he was just
that he's supposed to be like the strongest character in the in the universe.
Yeah, he was just laughing while Broly was attacking and what. It was like, all right, I guess that's a thing.
I did like how he protected Bulma though. Like that was kind of cool. Like,
well,
I like the relationship between Beerus and Whis and like Bulma. Like they like her. and that's kind of about it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Bulma can make fun of us or whatever, but anybody else, Destroyer God comes out. It's like, but then Beerus he gets left as a babysitter, so that's.
I mean, the only real problem with the movie is there wasn't enough bingo dance in it.
Yeah, I guess that's also the Dragon Ball's kind of ending things. It's just like, so Dragon Ball.
Well, also, don't they get 2 wishes out of those balls now?
That's what I thought too. Didn't they change that?
Because those aren't the original balls. Those are like the Dende made balls, and it was supposed to be like you get 2 wishes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's supposed to be quicker, like a quicker time frame or like recharge rate. And something else. I think I don't think you can bring back like the same person if they died over and over.
Exactly. You can't bring back the same person if they died once and nobody got resurrected with the Dragon Balls. I do miss Beerus during that part because Shenron always gets like freaked out.
Yeah, I like I really like the one sequence where they did the Gallic gun and Kamehameha.
Oh, at the same
together.
Time, that was
because
awesome.
that was like straight out of Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Oh, really?
Like the same. It was CGI, and you could tell it was because it was higher quality than anything else. And they did that like camera shift where it's like this is all 3D, and this looks awesome.
Overall, I thought the movie was really, really good. Worth seeing if you can. I don't know how much longer it's going to be in theaters, but
yeah, me and my friend saw it Thursday because it doesn't. I don't think it'll be in theaters that long, but it made a ton of money.
Yeah, it made $7 million on the first day.
Yeah.
I saw it Saturday, and there was people really excited at certain parts. So,
but it was how full was your theater?
It was pretty full. It was.
See, me and my friend saw it. Me and my friend saw it Thursday at like 3:30. So that might be why. But we had like 10 people in the theater, and that was it.
Oh, I saw it on Saturday at 7:00. It was full.
Oh yeah.
So, and this is not like a major chain. This is like the chain that's by my house. So
yeah, this was AMC. Like it's just not. Yeah, the movie has made almost $70 million, and it cost $9 million to make. So believe me, they're
quadrupled that already.
Yeah, they're gonna be making that a different Dragon Ball movie real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, the way they left it with Broly, I mean, they've either got to make another anime or they got to make another movie, and then Frieza as well with his.
Also, they never really explain why Frieza why Broly goes nuts.
His dad died.
No, I meant just in general.
Yeah, because he doesn't know how to control his power, and like become Super Saiyan. He just uses the Great Ape power and freaks out or whatever. That's sort of the gist that I got. Like he goes from normal to Great Ape, but hair turns green instead.
Yeah, but even like before he freaked out, like he was still pretty out of control.
Yeah. I guess maybe they'll explain that more as he like trains with Goku or whatever.
Yeah. And I think there was something else. No, I guess. Oh, it was weird at the end, like the big battle sequence, because they're fighting in Antarctica.
Yeah.
And Goku gets thrown through like the volcano, or like through the, I think him and Broly like fight to like lava, and it calls the volcano to spawn, and then at the end it just goes back to normal.
Yeah, it's like they went through this like kaleidoscope of like time or whatever, and then they go back to the normal setting.
Why didn't Goku just grab a hold of Broly, instant transmission his ass back somewhere?
Yeah, that I didn't understand either. But, yeah, sometimes Dragon Ball does the harder thing because common sense would make the movie end like 30 minutes earlier.
Yeah,
so
that'd be a lot more funny.
Because when I took Anaya, she's watched some of like the old Dragon Ball Z with me a few times. But like, she was watching the movie and she was like, "So is the main part of the movie the fighting?" And
yeah, I was with my friend, and she's, I mean, more of an ardent Dragon Ball fan than I am.
Yeah.
And she didn't like the movie that much at all. Like, she thought it was fine.
Right.
But she was just like, oh, is this going to be fighting for, like, the last 45 minutes? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's Dragon Ball.
Yeah, like, what do you want?
I mean, you got a longer story than you probably would have gotten in any of the animes in the first 30 minutes, so they had to do the fighting in the last, like, 45 or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I thought for the most part you got a lot of story in there, so...
I thought it was probably on par with the Battle of the Gods movie, and better than the Frieza movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sorry, it's like
Now,
2 in the morning, so...
Now bring on the Android 21 movie.
Would not be surprised. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, ending it here with games coming out this week. Of course, the big one on Friday, Resident Evil 2 Remake is happening. PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Senran Kagura Burst Renewal, which I'm waiting to find out if we're getting a code for that or not. PS4 and PC. At Sundown Shots in the Dark, which is like a multiplayer shooter games coming to all the systems.
I'm sure, what's her name on the site will like
Stephanie,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is Strange Season 2, Episode 2 comes out on the 24th to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I'm just going to wait till all the episodes come out at once and then play it.
Well, it seems like there was a really long delay between that and Episode 1.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to get them all out in the rest of the year or not.
Yeah.
The way they're going. Future Grind, which is like a motorcycle and you get to jump around and do cool... It's not tricks. There's actually sort of feels like Mega Man, but on a motorcycle. That's on all the systems too. Sonar Beat is on PC. And Jack's Quest Tale of the Sword, which is like a platformer, is on all the systems as well. And Tales of Heroes, which is on all the systems, is also... Or not... It's not a Tales game, it's like Heroes something. Heroes Trials, sorry.
Aren't you forgetting the other big game on Friday? Or did I just zone out?
No, because Kingdom Hearts is on Tuesday next week.
No, it's
29th.
Oh,
no, Japan
okay.
is getting it on Friday.
Oh, okay. I said it's the 25th. That's, yeah.
Yeah, because I asked off on the 29th, so I could play it all day. Also, the Devolver Digital Piku Niku game, which looks like Cubert with legs walking around doing stuff. It's kind of cool if you want to check that out on Switch. So, and also the Raven Remastered. If for some reason you want to play that on Switch, you can play it on Switch too. Don't. It's bad. So yeah, that's it for us this time. The schedule I'm trying to aim for is like Saturday night, Sunday morning, to do this weekly. So next week we'll be talking Resident Evil 2 Remake and whatever other stuff is happening in the news by then.
More Vesperia talk.
And more Vesperia talk as well. If you liked what you heard, you can always hit subscribe. The WTM Network or Video Games to the Max. Go check out all the sites. Last Word on Life, Forum Mania. Larry, I hope you feel better from your big surgery that you're having to deal with. And WTMnet.com as well. And yeah, just keep supporting, keep enjoying your games, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
Later.